Everyone talks about healing from trauma like it's some wound that eventually closes. Like magically one day you wake up and then it doesn't hurt anymore. But the truth is, you don't really heal from trauma. And strangely enough, it might end up being one of the best things that ever happened to you. Because if you really think about it, trauma rewires you. It's not just emotional, it rewires you fundamentally ground up. It changes the way that you read people, it changes the way you walk into a room, the way that you trust or now don't trust. Because without trauma, you take things more at face value. You assume people mean what they say. You assume things work out. You assume that people are loyal, because why wouldn't they be? And then something happens. Someone leaves you, they lie, they betray you, or life just generally crushes you. And suddenly you start seeing the world differently. And yeah, in a way it's darker, but it's also much clearer. The thing about trauma is that it sharpens you. You start noticing the things that people miss. You hear when someone hesitates before they say something. You catch the inconsistency in that guy's story that no one else saw. You notice when the energy changes in the room or when someone's energy shifts. The people who haven't been hurt, they just move through the world. They're not really aware that there's demons out there, so to speak, that there's monsters in the closet. They're not aware that at any given moment things can go left. And the trauma, it wakes you up, because even though it's painful, it forces awareness. It's the difference between reading about a storm and living through it. Because if you live through it, you know the signs. The other one, you get caught in the rain. Trauma also teaches you lessons, even if it's uncomfortable. Like, you know that sometimes people will betray you now. Sometimes people will leave you without an explanation. Sometimes the person you loved and trusted the most, they're gonna break you down and backstab you worse than anyone else. But after you go through all that, you carry a different type of awareness. Because you still trust, but you're slower and smarter about it. You observe people way more. You learn how to rely on yourself. People say it's unhealthy. They call it avoidance. But the truth is, it's just life experience. It's not like the world magically became cruel overnight. You just learned what the world really was. The thing about trauma, you don't heal from it and it magically disappears. You don't erase it and you don't outgrow it. It becomes a part of your architecture, foundation of who you are. The caution, the independence, the ability to sit alone without falling apart, the strength to walk away when something is wrong. And that ability, which ironically sounds a lot like self-love. You know how people talk about love yourself, have self-compassion, etc. Have your own standards. Where do you think all that comes from? All of that comes from pain. The scars you hold become your instincts. Your grief becomes your awareness. And your past becomes your armor. So no, I can't wish trauma on myself or anyone else. I don't think anybody would choose it. But the strange reality is, people who survive it come out different. And a lot of the time, it's for the better. It may take time, but eventually it's for the better. Because you're more aware, you're more resilient, you're harder to fool, you're harder to break. And that's the quiet truth that nobody talks about. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet are simply the ones who were forced to carry pain. They had to learn how to walk with it anyways. That's just my 2 cents. I'm out. Peace.